Well, each in his own way, I guess all of us is a drama critic. And for the Chicago Eagle and Mary, John Astin's Ed LaSalle, your dramatic criticism has a special strategy. I saw that episode where you reviewed the plays without seeing the plays.
Yes.
Great stuff.
Tell
us about that one moment. I thought that was a great, great story.
Difficult thing for a man with integrity to pull off, you know. But, you know, romance is a very strong drive.
Yeah, and you came perilously close to getting canned there in the managing editor's office.
Yes. I think that's going to happen more than once to Ed LaSalle.
What's the secret of liking Ed LaSalle and still knowing that he's up to those kinds of shenanigans?
Well, I think because somewhere in all of us there is an imperfect person.
Nah.
And I think we can identify with that kind of horseplay.
Well, if you've got a character that can center around that kind of a notion, then you've got a pretty rich character going for you there.
Well, thank you. I'm enjoying the development of the character. I think that the people who are writing the show and producing it have a rich sense of what can be done with relationships, and I think they're you know, step by step, they're developing all of these characters in a very interesting way.
At the same time, is it still early enough in the proceedings that Ed LaSalle can develop and grow in ways that maybe you don't even envision?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a show coming on shortly which has an entirely new facet of Ed. And it surprised me when I read it. At first I said, wait a minute, boy, I've got to work on this. And then I started to do it, and it came very easily. I better not, because this might air after that show airs, and if so, it could apply to the next one, because I know it's going to happen again.
It's really juicy, isn't it, for an actor to play a drama critic?
Yeah.
Because like all actors, you've been on the receiving end of critics, and now you're playing a critic. Yes. Any special insights this is giving you now on the other side of the ledger?
Well, you know, the only insight into criticism comes when I'm at my desk and have nothing to do in the scene that's being done. And when I'm there, I write reviews. Whatever the review is that Ed would be writing at that time, I sit down and write it.
Why not, right? You're on the set anyway.
Yeah, and it's fun to write reviews, especially when you're not responsible for the results.
But have you been on the receiving end of reviews that did sting? I mean, what about that side of the criticism game?
Yes, I have.
And do you have to learn as an actor how to handle that, or you just go for the throat?
As often as you can, you go for the throat.
Yes.
Because no, I've been pretty fortunate in my time. Critics have been generally good to me. And it's dangerous. I think if you're going to read a review as an actor, you have to be ready to accept the criticism. Otherwise, you shouldn't bother reading it.
But for heaven's sake,
if you read it to be on an ego trip, or just to get more praise, then there's something wrong somewhere, because you ought to be able to say, this is what I'm doing, and I'm doing it for people to see, and this is me, this is how I do it, and take it as you will.
Yeah, and heaven help the critic who doesn't see it.
Well, yeah, if the critic
like
sees it, yeah. Well, I think Ed's a fairly perceptive critic by and large. I think he, you know, he gets into unusual theater. You know, in a garage or a basement somewhere, underneath the gymnasium in the boiler room, they have a nice little theater or something. But I think that's because Ed has a sort of flair for, he wants to aim for greatness somewhere, and I think he says, well, I'll find it in an unusual place. And he sees the sort of sausage mill of Broadway shows, and says, you know, I can find it elsewhere. This is not it. I know, it's
John, we just have less than a minute. I'm going to change the topic very quickly, because in your past as a legitimate stage actor, so-called, there's quite a rich repertoire that you've been through that we don't even know about now. Any highlights you'd like to point out for us, recall for us?
Oh, well, I suppose the Three-Penny Opera and in New York was a great show. And also working with Charles Lawton in Major Barbara.
Right.
And
You were undershaft?
No, Charles was undershaft.
Well, but didn't you understudy for him?
Actually, how'd you know that? Yes, I did. But I don't think I ever would have gone on in the part. You know, if Charles had been sick, I think they'd have canceled the show. I don't think there was a 26-year-old John Astin is going to play undershaft.
But a successful TV actor, but do you sometimes look back fondly on those days?
Oh, yeah. Well, I do a play, at least one play a year. I have to do the theater. I have to be in the theater at least once a year.
Well, this critic has seen John Astin and Mary. 4 stars all the way.
Oh, thank you. Oh, nice. Now, there's a critic.
From Los Angeles. For KCTV5, I'm John Tibbetts.